Good morning, everyone. My name is Andres Ricarte. I head up API product development at American Express.
I'm Satish, head up API technology.
We thought we'd start you guys with a quick video that I hope you enjoy.
We've come from a place where we used to have very traditional processes, and we've really moved towards more of a startup culture. One of the things that I think is really great is there is a really close relationship between the business and tech teams at American Express. So oftentimes we'll get an overview of a new prototype that the tech teams are working on, and so that really helps, at least from the business side, let us think about new ideas, new concepts.
Our team just launched an exciting new experience in the back of New York City taxi cabs, where we are enabling card members to use membership rewards points for cab rides. And as someone that lives in New York City and seeing that, in market and in the flesh, it's a very exciting and rewarding experience.
Now, you have to give them the option of paying with points when they swipe the card, which means our functionality has to work at the speed of authorizing a transaction. The technology that we brought to life was to make sure that we process the membership rewards functionality as fast as we authorize a transaction.
Technology-wise, it's Java mainframe-based, but the skill to it was to enable the APIs in real time and make a seamless experience for the customer.
We're always looking for ways to transform that brand, and innovation is not only welcomed, it's expected.
I'm blessed with a team that stretch their thinking in ways that I have never seen before in every project. We bring industry-first experiences to life, which demands innovative thinking, non-traditional approach to development.
So we've been a company that's been innovating since its inception, whether it's traveler's checks, credit cards, partnerships, integrations into digital ecosystems, Uber, Foursquare, Facebook, et cetera. We've been innovating for a very long time. And I hope the video that you just saw is an example of what we've done in the consumer space. So likely, a lot of you have seen it in New York when you jump on a cab and you're able to pay with your points. The consumer space is a place where we've done a lot of stuff. But what I want to talk to you guys about right now is a different market, a different part of the market that is very large. It's growing. It's worth hundreds of trillions of dollars out there. And it's in desperate seek for innovation. And it's the commercial space. So as we think about the commercial space, think about businesses buying from other businesses and the amount of trade flows that go on between businesses around the world. And think about the Sunday night, Monday morning phenomenon where you're at home on Sunday night, your Fitbit is talking to your light bulb, your refrigerator is placing orders from Amazon. There's a lot of stuff already interconnected. You show up in the office on Monday morning, paper, checks, manual processes, delays, invoices. Commercial is a market that is ripe for innovation, and it's a great market for us to be in and for us to start looking at how we disrupt and how we change this space. So we at American Express Corporate Payments have been living and breathing the commercial market for over 4 decades. And we've built over time a series of really robust assets and capabilities, and we've exposed a ton of different products to the marketplace. So we've got presence in a lot of markets around the world. We touch hundreds of thousands of customers, commercial customers, every single day, whether that's helping them implement a travel and expense policy and control, or whether that's providing working capital and supply chain solutions for their vendors. We are touching customers day in and day out, hundreds of thousands of them around the world. And the one thing we hear from these customers on a regular basis, the one thing I hear when I go visit customers is growth. So businesses, particularly small and mid-sized businesses, are looking to grow. They're preparing to grow. They're looking at ways in which they can grow. Mid-market is the fuel of the economy in the US and in many other markets out there. So once again, it's a great place for the fintech community to be in, to start helping these customers as they grow and start partnering with these customers while they go through these massive growth agendas. And what does growth mean for a lot of these companies? It means really 2 things. The first one is flexibility around working capital and financing. So getting the liquidity they need to grow, gaining visibility into their finances on a regular basis. And customers, as you can see here, we survey customers on a regular basis, and we consistently hear this theme. They're not satisfied with the solutions that are out there in the market. Once again, great opportunity for us as the fintech community to tap into this and surprise these customers. And the second piece is the adoption of technology. So what used to be a very consumer-focused approach many years ago is now starting to percolate into corporate. So you see businesses adopting cloud, adopting mobile, and trying to leverage technology to be a part of the business rather than the back office, the back end that nobody remembers. It is now at the forefront. Technology is the way in which they interact with customers. It's the way in which they make their businesses succeed. So we, GCP, what are we doing at GCP Commercial Payments? What are we doing about this in American Express? First and foremost, we're sticking to the things we do really well. So we do payments really well around the world. And we're solidifying that foundation, and we're investing heavily on top of that payments foundation to do a couple of things. First of all, we're investing in infrastructure. And we're investing in infrastructure to, first and foremost, allow us to expose and to take some of those core payments and working capital capabilities. Think about a credit card and the millisecond authorization on a credit card. That's pure data. That's algorithms that we've used in the credit card space. Now, how do we use those algorithms to power up different experiences? So how do we expose our core payments assets to digital ecosystems and cloud ecosystems? So instead of having customers come to us, we go to customers in the place where they are. So ERPs is a great example, embedding our payment services into ERPs, accounting software, CRMs, and letting customers use our products and our solutions, our core assets, directly in the place where they're doing business, rather than coming to American Express. And the second thing we're doing is we recognize that the future is out there, it's not in here. And we need you guys, we need to co-develop, we need to innovate, and we need to accelerate partnership with strategic players out there, with emerging players that are doing things differently. So we're investing in infrastructure to help us accelerate that co-development. What that really means is we'll continue to have our existing products. We will continue to deliver value to our customers in the traditional ways in which we deliver value. But at the same time, we're starting to very actively, very proactively look at our core platforms and understand what value is inside those platforms that can be really exposed.
And technology is playing a critical role in bringing those platforms to life in external entities. And by the way, I'm still thinking about that video. I think I had a lot more hair.
I think your golden days were over.
Before I started working with you. The way we are thinking about it is we will work with the partners. We'll enable the developers, apps, and the platforms that our partners own, and make it extremely easy for them to integrate with Amex. Our commercial ecosystem is coming to life in a layered architecture way. We are very particular about being channel agnostic, form factor agnostic, and platform agnostic. And the way we are doing it is through APIs. Why did we pick APIs? Amex is a closed-loop network that has petabytes and petabytes of data. That data is used to build capabilities internally for our own use. If we have to bring those capabilities to life, if we have to form new business models, then those have to be extended through APIs. And APIs form a critical piece of this whole commercial ecosystem. Think about it. Internal APIs promote agility. APIs with partners promote collaboration. Ultimately, when we go into the open developer system, APIs promote innovation. And that's foremost in our thinking as we think through this. And we have a whole framework across our company in how we build our ecosystem. Look at this circle. We are making it extremely easy for our developers by giving them toolkits, industry-leading technology, to start playing around with the APIs in the sandbox that we own. Now, developers who work for our partners also have access to this. Once you have learned to code in APIs and develop APIs, what we have done is we have separated our company's technology into leading company platforms. And those company platforms map to technology platforms, and we have exposed microservices on top of that. This promotes internal agility. Now that we have that capability coming to life, we want to partner with external companies and do partner management and bringing new business models to life. As we move forward, the ultimate nirvana state is to have developers work with our APIs and co-create with us. If I open the hood a little bit, from our technology platform, our architecture is industry-leading. All our APIs are REST-based. Our API platform is geographically dispersed. It has data center affinity. It processes billions of transactions every day. And all of those transactions have to be processed within milliseconds. So our technology has to be industry-leading. Our performance, if you think about what you saw on the video, as you swipe your card in the back of the taxi cab, you have to have a response back within milliseconds, and that happens through this API platform. An average response time is about 500 milliseconds for our APIs. But being the brand that we are, known for security, we have security top of mind. We have our data secured at the network, transport, and the application layer. Now, what we wanted to do was quickly show an API in action. We recently launched a product called Express Checkout that we have used to integrate with our merchant partners. So this is our Express Checkout button that can be integrated with any merchants within days. So if I am John, the developer for Burberry, I come in here, I have my username and password. Hopefully, I'll remember it. This would tell me how I can integrate Express Checkout as a capability into my website. 5 easy steps. I want to review how the whole spec works. I want to look at my SDKs, test in our sandbox, test the API in sandbox, request credentials to promote it into your production environment, and then launch it. It's as simple as that. I could show you the JavaScript SDK right here. It's a few lines, and it puts the Express Checkout button right in front of the checkout page for customers to use. And we have 20 million customers that have access to Amex credentials that can immediately use this. And this is an example of how our APIs are coming to action in the merchant web pages. We have API reference coded in several leading industry languages so people can adapt to it. We quickly wanted to showcase how our APIs was coming to life. All this innovation doesn't happen overnight, right? There has to be a culture change across the company. And here is an approach that we have taken. We have massive amount of data. We have data from our card members, from our merchants, from our network, processing the payments. On those data, we have developed APIs. The APIs allow us to test and learn quickly, get products into market as fast as we can, iterate on them, listen to the customers, and go back and launch it. What we have also done is make it easy for our customers to do self-service on these capabilities, both for internal developers and for developers who work for our merchant partners. It's not enough to have all the tools to develop it, but there has to be truly change in mind shift. Being a traditional bank holding company, a credit card company, how do you go partner with a Facebook and a Foursquare or a Twitter or an Apple? The culture has to completely change. So top down, you would have all the way from our CEO talking about APIs, talking about data, talking about technology, and how technology plays a critical role in transforming the business. And we have a few of our talent here. Ultimately, what we did was we brought in talents that are accelerators to our thinking. We combined them with traditional talent within our own company, together forming agile teams to launch capabilities that is industry first and cutting edge. So with that, I'll turn it over to you to close.
So one of the messages, and then we'll open up for Q&A, but one of the messages that there's 2 or 3 messages that I really wanted to convey here as part of the closing. One is, we've done a lot in the consumer space. You are all familiar with the consumer space because we are all consumers. We use our apps. We know what it feels like to be a consumer. The commercial space is huge, and the commercial space is growing, and the commercial space has significant opportunities for disruption and innovation. The commercial space is still not optimal. So there's a massive opportunity for the fintech community to really tap into this space and help redefine it. The second message is, really, we are here looking for partners. We're here looking for ideas, and we're here looking for dialogue and conversations so we can together continue to innovate and co-develop. And so our emails are out here. We're ready to engage in conversations. It's a journey for us, like for many other companies, going from being a traditional credit card to powering commerce in unique ways, to integrating to different platforms and ecosystems. But we feel that there's a massive opportunity out there. We're excited about the fact that there's certain things we do really well, and one of those is at the heart and soul payments. And payments are difficult. Payments are difficult to integrate. Pay out, pay in. Payments in the cloud are complicated. So we have a lot of assets, a lot of capabilities that we're willing to partner with different strategic companies to expose and to co-develop with. And with that, I'll open up to some Q&A.
Great stuff, guys. Love the APIs in action. So a few questions from the audience. The first is, how do we partner with American Express?
Our emails are right here. So we are, as Andres stated, we're looking for partners that are very strategic, that can help us bring industry-first experiences to life, whether it is for our consumers, for merchants, or for corporate partners or small businesses. So if you are a company that is looking to partner with Amex, here's an opportunity for you.
If you have a cool technology, if you have a cool idea, if you have a customer base, so you've built a platform or an application and you're touching hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of transactions or businesses, and you're looking for payment capabilities, payments are a very interesting way to monetize that network. So in addition to marketing and data services, if you want to integrate payments, we're here. If you have an idea, a prototype that you're building and you want support with, we're here. If you just want to talk, we're here, and we're looking for strategic partners.
Great. The next question is, how is this different?
It's your space.
So I guess we can address this through, at least I think about differences in a couple of different dimensions. How is commercial different to consumer? Size of market, growth of market, level of opportunity for innovation, the number of pieces that are still broken in commercial are massive. How is it different from what others are doing out there? I don't know if better or worse, but American Express has built a very strong network. So over years, we've got millions of entities that touch our network any given day. So the data, to the point that Satish was bringing up, the data behind it, the assets, the information, the intelligence behind it is the crux of anything we can imagine in the future. So the closed loop, the benefit of us having our own merchant relationships, our card member relationships, our processing relationships, and all of the core back-end capabilities in one shop means that opening up the toolkit showcases a lot of different things. So consumer, different than commercial, or commercial, different in the sense that it's growing and there's a massive opportunity for us. Relative to the rest of the industry, we just have a very unique closed loop model.
What I would add is that's where the growth is. If you look at financial situation globally, the corporations have hit a steady growth pattern. Consumer growth is limited. The mid-market segment, which we are targeting, the corporate payments, is growing tremendously. That's one. We have 10 million merchants, over 100 million card members globally. And we have processed over $1 trillion in transactions last year. All of that translates into massive amount of data. And that data helps us produce capabilities that are very meaningful to real, everyday problems that we could solve.
Great. And we have time for one more. Are you hiring?
So short answer is yes. Hiring engineering, we're hiring product, we're hiring strategy, we're hiring all over the place. This is a very significant commitment and investment from our company. It comes from the top. There's a lot of focus on how we change our mindset, how we change the market. So definitely, whether it's for partnerships or for working with us, we're definitely open for dialogue.